The Galapagos Islands are one of my favorite places to think about because of the whole evolution thing. You know how Charles Darwin went there and saw all those species that lived there isolated on their own little islands, and he thought about how they evolved over time and then soon declared his idea of natural selection, really pissing off a lot of people. A lot of people don't like the idea of evolution, which is too bad for them because the Galapagos Islands have once again coughed up more evolutionary evidence. Yep, scientists just discovered an entirely new species of giant tortoise there. Or rather, they knew that tortoises were there, they just thought they were different ones. This happened on the Galapagos island known as San Cristobal, where a bunch of giant tortoises, about 8,000 of them, live. Scientists have always thought they were part of a species known as, well, that. However, a brand new study reveals that's not the case and that they're a completely new lineage of tortoise that has yet to be described, according to the Galapagos National Park. Scientists from Newcastle University, Yale, and the Galapagos Conservancy worked together to figure this out by comparing the genetics of the tortoises with a sample from that species. And not only did they find that the two didn't match up, but that one, the one with the unfortunate name, might actually be extinct, might already be garnished from the planet. They might have cohabited with these new ones that are now walking around maybe, or crawling around, but who's to say? All they know is it sure seems like evolution is up to its old dirty tricks again on Galapagos Islands. So now they're thinking that long name should be assigned to the extinct species and that the 8,000 tortoises that are all still crawling around San Cristobal should get a new name. And I'm all for that. Seriously. And this time, let's just call them Tony. They're all Tonys. You see one and you're like, what's that? And you're like, oh, that's a Tony the tortoise. One of those new ones they just found. It's much better, am I right? Anyway, it's a fun little story about evolution of species, which I love. But it's not my favorite story about Galapagos. Nope. My favorite story from Galapagos was written by Kurt Vonnegut, of course, entitled Galapagos, in which the last humans on Earth evolve into these kind of human-dolphin-walrus mashup thingies. I haven't read it in decades, but if you haven't ever read it, I suggest you read it now. Toot sweet! Much better than doom scrolling. And it just might get you thinking about my own little story about evolution, which is that we humans are indeed evolving right now in front of our very eyes into something very different, for better or worse, like it or not. That's what we do when our tools evolve. We evolve right along with them. It's what we've been doing forever, so why would we stop now, especially when our tools are evolving like crazy these days, that's for sure. Maybe even beyond what we can handle. Or not. Maybe we're doing just fine, evolving just like we're supposed to. Either way, that's my theory, and I'm sure Charles and Kurt and Tony would agree.